One, one. We are live. Hello, folks. In this video, I want to talk with you about the 4 key B2B content styles. Of course, I am Connor, the Content King Doobie, here to share with you. Why do they call me Connor, the Content King? Not because me, myself, even do a lot of content, but my whole career up to this point has been dedicated to helping you and helping businesses and marketers and B2B businesses and entrepreneurs to get their content done. So every now and again, I bring out the Content King. It is Friday. We're going into the weekend, so let's have some fun. And I want to talk with you about 4 key content types and content styles that you can implement into your business. So a lot of this, I know there's a lot of senior executive marketers that follow me. By the way, this may be the first time you've ever seen me before, heard of me. I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you're following me. But sometimes the simple things are the best reminders. The little things when it comes to deploying content marketing and B2B content, it all comes down to the little things and the little reminders that are like, oh yeah, I knew that, or like common sense, again, sometimes make the biggest difference. So I want to walk through this. We've been, probably produced a little over 37, probably close to 40,000 pieces of custom B2B content for, many number of different businesses and help many businesses with that over the years. And there's a theme that we always see performs when it comes down to like, what content do I do? Because I get asked that question so often, like, hey, what do we talk about? What do we need to be producing? How do we need to be producing it? It always comes down to these 4 pillars. So with that, I want to share with you the 4 key pillars, starting with number 1, which is when it comes to, and I may have spelt it wrong too, but that's okay. I am the king. I can spell things incorrectly because I have great people behind me to spell check me. So, by the way, number 1, educational. The number 1 thing your content should be doing, and I'm going to tie these together very well for you, is, of course, educating. You see many businesses out there, and all they do is they pitch, they throw their product, they throw their service out. Notice, I've been doing this video for almost 3 minutes now, and I haven't even given you a single sales pitch or even told you anything about, my business in a way that's pitchy, but more so in a way that's educational. And that is the way you need to stay in front of people, because your buyers, the B2B buying cycle, about 80% of everything that they're going to do in terms of the buying process is done through education in, the first 80% of that sales cycle. So what are they doing? They're learning. They're reading your blog. They're looking at your LinkedIn feed. They're, maybe on your email list. They're attending events that you do. They're educating themselves. And the main thing I always think about this is not so much, okay, well, how do I do this? I always think of it in the risk of, if I don't do this, if I'm not putting on the king costume and coming out here and talking to you and educating you on this, then I guarantee you somebody else is. And that's the same for your business. Your competition, if you and your company are not the ones who are going to put the priority on educating your market, I guarantee you there's someone else out there who's more than willing to do it. So education, it helps prospects solve their problems. Like I give away, people are so afraid to give away. If you go back and you look at trainings, webinars, content that I've done, there's material that other businesses charge for. And I put so much out there. Our team and our clients, they put so much valuable information out there that other people would typically charge for, but they put it out there for free. So you, in the eyes of your prospects, you're all of a sudden that much more valuable than anybody else in the market. Number two is stories. Stories sell. Tellers tell, stories sell. I just made that up. There's some kind of phrase, I think. I don't know. Someone drop it in the comments if you know what the heck it is. But at the end of the day, stories are going to sell better than you could ever be selling. And that can come in many different formats. People often do case studies or testimonials or use an application, right? So I'll give an example like Elon Musk recently just launched this, whatever rocket that they're launching. I'm just making something up on the spot. And, the funny thing is, your business is very similar to that rocket. You've put lots of investment into it. Let's say your website is kind of like a vehicle in itself. Put lots of resources, materials, time, money, energy, pain into getting that final product. And then how far are you going to get if you really don't have fuel to put into that vehicle? And so content, because we're talking about content is fuel for the vehicle of your business, of your digital presence, of your website. That was just a random story that I made up. Whether you're Elon Musk, you're putting rockets into space, you need rocket fuel in order to do that. Whether you're a business and you're trying to get more active, more present, more valuable, more visible, then content is the fuel. You can be doing all the right things, but if you don't have that, then you're not going anywhere. So that's an example of stories. Now, another great example of this is I take clients of ours and hop them on Zoom, and we interview our clients and allow them to kind of share the story of what it's like to work with us. So are you doing that in your business? Are you getting your clients to tell stories about you and, kind of the success you've had together and what it's been like to work together? And are you recording that material and putting it out there? Because again, not everyone reads case studies, and you can make how you're doing this much more interesting, much more exciting, and much more entertaining, which leads me to my next piece, which is, of course, entertaining, which is why would I not dress up? Because anyone can go onto LinkedIn or go onto live and, share their information, right? But when you make it entertaining and you make it attention grabbing and you do unique things, like B2B marketing does not have to be boring. I just did an interview recently with two different companies. One of them is in the logistics industry. The other one is in government services. I mean, typically this is pretty dry stuff. But if you go and look at the companies, and you'll know who I'm talking about if you follow our podcast, you watch me publish some of this stuff out, their marketing, they're putting memes out. I mean, these guys are selling to government. They're putting funny videos out. They're writing goofy articles. They're writing silly posts. And guess what? It's working for them. Their businesses, when you look at them versus competitors, their engagement is extraordinary. One, but their top line revenue, because I've dug into this, is also extraordinary and growing at extraordinary rates. So it ties in with storytelling as well. It gives you that extra hook and that extra interest to get people, first, you got to get their attention. And then two, once you have their attention, then you got to teach them something and provide something of value. So entertainment can come in a lot of different forms, but you see now people post memes on LinkedIn, and some people are like, well, LinkedIn's turning into Facebook, which obviously if you're in B2B marketing, LinkedIn's the place to be. But where is that content leading to, right? Can you get an interesting, fun, or funny hook and use that? And that is funneling eyeballs and attention back to your education content, right? To your client storytelling content, stuff of that nature. But because the world is so busy, noisy, distracted, then you have to be able to entertain. Are you not entertained? Drop a like, share this video, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. I'm just talking into the internet. So, number 4 is action. Could be a made up word. I don't know, but actionable content. There's a yin and a yang. I know very, very large influencers. Like, I've personally interviewed them. I've talked to them. I've built relationships with them. There's influencers out there who, sorry guys, I'm just making sure the stream was not glitching there for a second. There's influencers out there. They have big following. They put a lot of, like goofy content out there. They're doing all the other pieces. But at the end of the day, nobody really knows what they do. And when I've pressed into some of those business models, I'm like, how are you guys doing? Like, business wise, are you growing? What do you sell? It's really hard to tell. Then they're missing that piece. All of these have to go. So I've listed these as 4 kind of separate categories of what you can do with your content. But ultimately, they all need to work in sync. You need all of them, right? If you're doing a single piece of content, you can work that piece of content so it's educational, it's storytelling, it's entertaining, but you also need to elicit action. You don't always have to elicit action. I like, when I teach this, like the 80-20 rule, 80% of what you're putting out there is just strict value, no ask. I'm not looking for anything in return. I'm just providing value for you. I'm just putting stuff out there, right? These are gifts to you. This is free. This is no cost. I'm not asking you to sign up for anything. But you still need that 20% mixed into your cadence in order to capitalize on all of that goodwill that you've been putting out. Otherwise, eventually, nobody's really going to know how to transact with you, what to do to work with you, right? And they may be interested. They may be a great buyer. They may be a great potential client, but they're going to move on to someone else because they're like, okay, I'm entertained and interested by this person, but I have no idea what they do. So with that, folks, let me know. What are your thoughts? We have the 4 key B2B content styles. They're different in nature, and each one of them can be leveraged differently. But ultimately, at the end of the day, your greatest success that you're going to find in doing your B2B content is the marriage between all of them and how you're deploying them. Every single person self-educates differently. Everybody learns in different formats. So are you just putting this out in the form of articles? Are you just doing videos? Are you just doing memes? Are you just doing graphics? Or are you just doing podcasts? Ultimately, you need all of them. You need the trifecta because everybody in your audience learns differently. By the way, do me a tiny favor. I appreciate you guys. I'm super grateful for your attention. And if you want to pay it back, pay it forward in any way, like this video, comment, let me know your questions. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Was it goofy? Was it serious? Did you learn something? Is it, even as an experienced marketer, was it a good reminder of like back to the basics and reminding myself that the basics are important still. The foundations are important when I'm going through and re-auditing. What am I going to do with my content marketing? We're about to hop into Q4, believe it or not. Got September and then we're rolling in October. By the way, free gift for you for sticking around. I see you here. I appreciate you. Go to provencontent.com/free, and you will get 4 free courses on B2B content marketing. You don't even need to give your email address. You just go to that address and you get those free courses. Neuromarketing, profiting big with podcasting on LinkedIn, the missing links, closing the gap with content, and 29 B2B content mistakes that are costing you customers. All you got to do is go to that domain. Don't have to even give me your email address, and you get 4 free courses. These are worth thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars. How do I know this? Because I've sold them for that before. So with that, my friends, make it great. Happy Friday to you. Make it exciting, fun, and I appreciate you. I will see you on the other side.